welcome back everybody to another That Dude Right There Might Get Got in the Cell Block episode of Lockdown 23 in 1. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, and I said in my live stream yesterday, I just had my front tooth pulled and had a bone graft done. My left side of my cheek is feeling very chipmunky today. My smile's even a little crooked a bit. It's okay though, I'm soldiering through. I don't have much pain, just a little bit of swelling. But today I'm going to be speaking on Karmelo Anthony once again, probably the last time for a while unless something happens to him in prison. Which a lot of people are thinking is what's going to happen, that he's going to get got. But you know what? Chances are he definitely might not. I'll break all that down here in 1 second, but first let me know if my new glasses look goofy. You know, I might have made a mistake. I went with the clears. You know what I mean? I don't see too many people wearing the clears, probably because they look goofy. But I only wear mine when I'm driving, you know, and when I'm watching TV at night. But yeah, they look stupid. Let me know in the comments below. My kids said I look new age, whatever that means, man. Well, I'm not even old yet. Yeah, man, you know, it's crazy. And then someone donated me yesterday in the live stream and said, why on earth would there be an option to donate and say the word unk? I have no idea. But let's get right into it, ladies and gentlemen. If you're new to the channel and enjoy all things lockup and crime related, then this is absolutely where you need to be. Hit that like, subscribe, notification bell before you leave, and check out my beautifully assorted playlist with many more videos for you to start watching today. Alright, first and foremost, we have a new photo of Karmelo Anthony before he goes to prison. And let me just say this, I've never seen any kind of, you know, diagnostics outfit look like this. I mean, it looks like he's about to get baptized in the Jordan. What is that, sackcloth he's wearing? And then he went straight skinhead. Is that how Texas does? Skin that head right off the break. I know they chop off dreads and stuff in certain states, give you a buzz cut, but pure skin Scully? Absolutely unreal, man. Oh, Karmelo. Don't let the other inmates see this skinner look, man. They might try to put a mop head on top of it. But for those that don't know, Karmelo Anthony was sentenced to 35 years in the Texas Department of Corrections with the possibility of parole after 17.5 years. I guessed that he was going to get 20 years, and I bet you when it's all said and done, he'll get parole eventually on the 20 mark. 20 years from now, I'll double back and make a video and say, I told y'all so. And a lot of people are also saying that this dude got smoked. Man, he didn't get smoked at all. Anybody saying that, they don't know what they're talking about. I might have said it just because, you know, that's what I say on my channel, you know, for fun. But in all honesty, he got blessed. He was facing 99 years life in prison. In many states, you take a life, your life's going to be taken too. So for him to even get a chance to possibly be walking the streets at 17.5 years is absolutely unreal, man. I know people that got abduction cases where no one was hurt and they're doing a 40 clip. And they were 18 when it happened. So old Karmelo got blessed. And for anybody thinking that he was going to beat this on self-defense, my goodness. I feel sorry for y'all, man. Y'all really need to brush up on your laws or else you're going to be in the same shoes as him one day. Thinking you're doing what's right, man? Think again. Stand your ground. Yeah, I know it sounds cut and dry, but it ain't. Your life better be extremely at risk before you think about stabbing or shooting using any kind of weapon on another person. And a lot of people I've read in comments think that this guy's going to be going to a juvenile facility first. It says, although Anthony was 17 years old at the time of April 2025 fatal stabbing of Austin Metcalf, 17-year-olds are automatically prosecuted within the adult criminal justice system for offenses of this magnitude. So he's in prison right now with a murder under his belt. Violent crime, he's going to a high-level prison with inmates that are really, truly violent, and they love it. But what's the process of what he's going through now? I'm going to break down the exact steps at many facilities, even though each place has their own style of doing it, handles these high-profile type of inmates. Keep in mind, if he gets hurt, killed, anything like that, man, that facility's going to have so many lawsuits on their hand, it's unreal. Probably kicking out millions upon millions of dollars. People getting fired, new wardens getting put in place, all kinds of stuff. That is not what they want. But first and foremost, the secure transfer. The process begins the moment the county jail transfers custody to the state. High-profile murder convictions are rarely moved on standard multi-inmate TDCJ transport buses. They are routinely moved in unmarked single inmate vans under armed escort to avoid public or media interference. This is called blacked out transport. Then you got the pin packet. The county sheriff delivers the physical pin packet to TDCJ officials. This includes the official judgment, sentence length, criminal history, and the jail conduct report, detailing any behavioral or self-harm risks noted during trial. And keep in mind, in case you missed it, I just had tooth surgery, alright? It's hard for me to read some of these words with this new fake tooth in my mouth, so bear with me as I'm getting used to it. But number 2 comes the reception and stripping of identity. The inmate arrives at a Texas dedicated regional intake unit, such as the Bird unit in Huntsville. And then upon reception comes isolation on arrival, while regular inmates are processed in large holding cells. A high-profile murderer is immediately isolated. Next comes property liquidation. All personal clothing and belongings are confiscated, cataloged, and either mailed home or destroyed. But next comes sterile processing. The inmate is strip searched for contraband, showered with delousing shampoo, fingerprinted and photographed for their state identification card. They are issued standard issued white TDCJ uniforms, canvas shoes, and a basic bedding. And this happens to everyone. You know, anyone going to prison, you're going to get stripped out, typically sometimes around a bunch of people. Some places you rode the bus together, chances are you're all going to get naked together during that strip search, right? And if that happens to be you later on down the road, just look forward, do not look down or left and right. Might get poked in the eye or something, man. And look, keep in mind, typically in these type of situations, from what I've seen, reception, getting all your whites and stuff like that, is ran by inmates for the most part. I mean, yeah, there's a CO there conducting everything with their piece of paper, you know, like I guess I said the right word, a conductor. With high profile cases, those inmates are going to disappear. They ain't going to be there no more. Them trustees that are typically there to help can't risk it. It rolls into number 3, immediate safekeeping placement. Before permanent housing is decided, a high-profile convict is immediately placed under administrative segregation or safekeeping status. One of these places is called PC, or protective custody. Due to the nature of a high-profile murder conviction, the inmate faces severe threats or violence from other inmates seeking notoriety. And look, the COs, they'll weigh out their options for you in the future. 3 or 4 years later on down the road, with him being back here in the side pocket, things might be going really peaceful now. A lot of people might have forgotten. They might pump him in the main line, and that's when things are going to get real dicey for him. But he's definitely going to be going to an isolated cell block for sure right off the break. 23-1, maybe 22-2, which is the amount of hours that he's in a cell versus out the cell to do whatever he needs to do, take a shower, use a phone. And these are like the type of lockdown statuses, let's say, an inmate gets when they stab someone in prison. They go to like a level 5 afterwards, man. They're going to be in their cell pretty much all day long after they get out the hole, which they're probably going to be going to for the next year. It says to guarantee safety, the inmate is locked in a single cell for 23 hours a day, taking showers and recreation time completely alone. But the next objective is classification and screening. Over the next 2 to 4 weeks, the TDCJ Classification and Records Department runs comprehensive evaluations where extensive physical exams are performed to check for active self-harm ideation or severe mental trauma common after high-profile capital convictions. And that might be something he's going through right now, man, drunk as a skunk. Can't believe he got sentenced to 35 years. Probably all sitting in right now. Best way to do something you don't want to do is just to do it, man. But next up would be the custody level assignment. Inmates convicted of murder are automatically excluded from low-level custody assignments. They are given a high security rating, typically starting at a G4, medium security, G5, maximum security, or permanent safekeeping. Next, they got the Keep Away Registry, where classification officers scan the TDCJ database to log any co-defendants, rival gang members, or relatives of the murder victim currently in the Texas system. The high-profile inmate is legally barred from ever being assigned to a same facility as those individuals. Let's say the father or cousin, uncle, whoever of the victim gets locked up, happens to go to prison, he's going to be put on that no-mix list. And some places are structured to, follow these rules and regulations, but the most dangerous prisons, if you were to ask me, they don't care about none of that. They say they do, and they act like they do, even on paper, but somehow they end up in a cell with only 3 months left in their bid with a killer. Next thing you know, I'm making an episode on them, trying to show the reality that classification definitely doesn't get it right all the time. You just don't know these days. But if I were to guess Texas, they're pretty structured. Them COs got a good reign on their facilities. But moving right along, it says media and communication restrictions. The TDCJ Executive Affairs Division heavily regulates the inmates' access to outside world to prevent the facility from turning into a media circus. And they're going to do this probably by monitoring all his communications. It says while the inmate can register standard pre-approval phone lines to call immediate family, all phone calls and outbound digital messages via TDCJ tablets are actively recorded and monitored for security leaks. Texas prison wardens enforce rigid controls over media interview requests. Journalists are rarely allowed face-to-face access, and any authorized communication is strictly vetted. For the first 60 days, the inmate is ineligible for contact visits. Even after intake, high-profile status usually dictates that family visits occur behind secure glass partitions via a phone handset, preventing any physical contact. And look, all this can happen to you as well, even if you're not high profile. All you have to do is get in trouble, go to the hole or something like that, man. Your visitation's gonna change up. Security's gonna be much higher. They might bring the shower to you and read your mail off a projector now. But last but not least, we got the permanent unit assignment. Once processing completes, the State Classification Committee transfers the inmate out of the intake facility to their permanent home. They're sent to a maximum security prison like the All Red unit or the Cofield unit. Man, I've covered some stories from old Cofield. Equipped with dedicated high security wings, ensuring that they remain isolated from the general prison population for the foreseeable future. So yeah, if you're to ask me for the next 5 to 7 years, maybe 10, maybe his whole bid, he's gonna be doing it by him damn self. And I'm here to tell you that is absolute torture. Talking about doing slow time. It's gonna feel like that clock's going in reverse for old Karmelo in that side pocket. I'm not even playing. I've been there plenty of times for months at a time in numerous establishments, man. And it's like time goes by way slower in there. And you're starving, it feels like, every single day. That's the only good thing that Karmelo's probably going to have coming his way. He's going to be allowed to have commissary, TV, and all that stuff, if I were to guess. Because he didn't get in trouble in the facility. All that stuff is usually taken from you in prison if you get in trouble. Like, I was in a hole in Virginia. There was these Rasta cats back there because they didn't want to cut their dreads. I think the laws have changed now, but dude had his TV, commissary, everything, and he was running the whole damn side pocket. But who knows? Texas might say, you know, just because you're back here, period, you're not allowed to have any of this stuff. In many other states, they run very similar, man. If I were to guess, they just, you know, kind of diverge from the process in minute ways that really wouldn't change any kind of factors when it comes down to security. So anybody thinking that he's going to get attacked, I'm not saying it's not possible. I've covered many stories where people are in PC and they got. But I'm a gambling man if I were to bet it all. If he ever goes to GP, you know, general population, years down the road, chances are I think he's going to be just fine as well. Old head probably going to put him under his wing, or possibly an organization looking at a fat meal ticket. But I'm out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully you enjoyed and got a better view of what happens to a high-profile inmate inside the Texas Department of Corrections. Until the next time, though, as always, y'all be easy, be safe, and stay free.